So this isn't super uncommon. I work with a lot of kiddos, and just from my own kids and from hearing about my friends' kids' experiences, who they wake up from naps and they wake up in the morning kind of cranky. And a lot of times it has to do with them being hangry. Think about how before they went down for a nap, did they eat their lunch or did they kind of refuse it because either they didn't like what they were served or they were feeling a little bit overtired? Same goes for dinner. Did they eat a ton before they went to bed? A lot of times our kiddos wake up hangry, and then that can just kind of put them in a bad mood. Maybe they didn't wake up hangry, but sometimes they just wake up a little bit cranky. They're still coming out of dreamland. They're still trying to figure out what's going on in their day. And a lot of times we put a lot of pressure on them first thing when they wake up. When your child is in a tantrum, or if they're having a lot of that whining behavior, because some kiddos, whining could be considered a tantrum. Some kiddos, tantrums could look a lot differently. But when they're in that mode, choices might not work. They might, even if they're all of the favorite things are offered, they might not work. Wait until they are calm again and you have compliance from them before you start offering those choices. If you offer it and it does not work, a lot of things are going to be trial and error. And sometimes our kiddos' behaviors and their moods change throughout the day and by day to day. So we just have to figure out what's going to work in that moment. What worked yesterday might not work today. Just like if they loved blueberries yesterday, they might hate them today. So you kind of just have to pull out your bag of tools and figure out what's going to work. But I have another video on here about behavioral momentum. So doing something in regards to compliance trials that they already have mastered, like gross motor skills. So doing something like if you had said to them, come put your shirt on, and they're whining. Try doing touch your nose, clap your hands, pat your head, come put your shirt on. They build that momentum and then they might move right on to that next activity. That's something you can try. You can try, have another video on just making this like outlandish story, being like, did you know that I used to have a pet goat? And like just being really silly with them. That might draw them completely out of what they're feeling stuck on, and now they're focused on you, and you can just go about your day and dress them while they're listening to your story, or you're just, moving from activity to activity. So there's a lot of different things that you can try. But if what you're doing isn't working, try something else, because you don't want to get into that power struggle and you don't want their behaviors to escalate and you don't want your patience to continue to decrease.